Welcome, welcome! It's Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today we're going to talk about the roadmap and the monthly report from May 2021. So there's a lot to discuss here. Hopefully this video won't go too long and you guys will still be interested. So they have changed a few things in the roadmap. On the release view, they have now added the canvas sliced ship HUDs. So they're updating all the ship HUDs to use the new canvas slice system, and power management version 2, which will rebalance the existing power system and integrate all the capacitors that they've been working on into it. So those are all complete or past final review. They've also passed the law system version 2 surrendering. That's been in the works for a long time. It's now going to be a thing in the PU. Radar scanning and ping has also passed final review and will be in 3.14. Then on the progress tracker, they've added a quantum travel experience. They want to update that to where players move more physically in a realistic way and improve the general QT experience. And login flow, they're going to improve the login process to allow for more stability and easier analysis of errors. Then on the reward service, they're going to develop and implement backend systems capable of tracking stats and data per player and award the in-game rewards to them. So kind of like the Vandal Mask reward and all that, they should kind of make it a little easier to do as well. They have moved space mines and bombs. Well, I say that. So space mines they've finished. Bombs have been moved, or maybe it's vice versa. I think bombs they finished, space mines have been moved is what it is. So space mines have kind of been taken off the roadmap until they figure out where they can do that in. The Nautilus isn't coming out anytime soon, probably, so we'll end up waiting until most likely the Nautilus is ready or some other mine layer is ready in game. Garages. This has been moved because they need additional time and resources. That they ended up moving towards the Pyro space stations and the upcoming Ruin station. So yeah, it was removed from the progress tracker. Then they also have Ladders Tier 1 has been temporarily removed. Prone Tier 1's been temporarily removed. And Actor Status Tier 2 was temporarily removed. They've just removed those so that they can put them in another area somewhere down the road. Something else to keep in mind, that they have started work on FPS realistic weapon handling, the Boreal Stalker, Grimhex Hospital Interior, Space Station's Hospital Interiors, security behavior, asset managers, shield capacitors version 1, thruster capacitors version 1, weapon capacitors version 1, inventory system on the persistent side, Xi'an Cargo. That's for Squadron 42, Chapter 18 of Squadron 42, Chapter 21, Virtual AI Services, AWS Batch Interface, Creature Rigging Pipeline, the Drake Vulture, and Turret Usability Improvements. They completed work on a lot of different things. Let me actually see which ones of these are in the roadmap that I'm about to talk about. Okay, so yeah, let's just go through the list and then I'll go a little bit more specific. So, work completed on some character work, AI stuff, shops and patrons on the AI side, AI planetary navigation, ship AI subcomponent targeting, utility behavior, healing tier 0, actor status tier 1, Orison Hospital Interior, Aceto Station. These are all work completed, by the way. For character art and team tech on the Aceto Station. Character attachment volumes, medical gown, Orison version 1, personal inventory, player body, substance texturing pipeline version 1, CIG profile improvements, entity areas, entity area animation, Gen 12 render tier 1 has been complete, so they still have a little bit left to do on that. It should be done before the fourth quarter this year. Persistent streaming and server meshing. So that's the engine team. So is server meshing done? I don't know. We'll find out. port over remaining mesh rendering, zone system improvements, mounted guns, theaters of war, crossroads of crime is completed, evidently. Orison version 1, unannounced lighting, unannounced mission feature team, dynamic environment, hospitals tier 0, hacking tier 0, one's modular, one's narrative, healing tier 0, active status tier 1 narrative team, surrender narrative team, unannounced narrative team, entity graph seeding, Orison hospital interior props team, Orison version 1 props team, chapter 11 squadron 42, RSI Bingle squadron 42 art, reputation version 1 for org service, that's squadron 42, chapter 16 of squadron 42 flight and design, takeoff and landing squadron 42 level 2 design, AI info service, let's see here, what else? Persistent streaming and server meshing on the USPU gameplay feature team. Wow, they're a long ways on server meshing, guys. I heard it was going to be middle of the year, so I don't know. Crusader Hercules Starlifter A2 is completed on the vehicle content UE team, or EU team, sorry. Crusader, let's see, RSI Constellation Taurus vehicle content US team is done. Unannounced vehicle content US team done. Shield capacitors version 1, thruster capacitors version 1, weapon capacitors version 1, Orison version 1, salvage tier 0, mag stripping, refilling, weapon content teams done. Okay, so yeah, I know that's just a blob of information for you, a lot of stuff there. Let's go down a little bit more into detail on a couple of things. So the AI content team, they've polished the tourist and tour guide behavior. They've added more usables for shopkeepers. They began designing the ability to eat in or take away food in shops. Security guard was fully designed and prototyped, and they've continued to prototype background life for the medical room, including janitors and background NPCs. So good job on AI content there, a lot of good stuff. AI features, they developed the ability for enemy fighters to finish off targets with execution animations. Cool. Maybe. Adapted fighter combat behavior to better utilize missiles. Work continued on the weapons training sub-behavior where NPCs can use a firing range. And they further developed untrained weapons combat. AI tech, they completed work on EVA for NPCs, and planetary navigation was worked on. As far as animation, they worked on several different animations, including vendors searching behaviors, emergency reactions, medical revival, and more. And they built test rigs for 2 creature types and a salvage weapon. Art characters, they finished off assets for Orison, and concept artists worked on NPCs for the Pyro system. Art environment, Orison is nearing completion with only some final polishing remaining. Progress was made with the final art on the first set of Outpost. Work was made on planets for the Nyx system. Yeah, you didn't know that, did you? A new harvestable for Pyro was completed, and new Babbage and Orison hospitals were completed as well. Art for ships, RSI Constellation Taurus moved into the release prep stage. They began work on the Crusader Ares. An unannounced ship has made great progress, and work has also begun on a brand new ship. Progress was made on the Aegis Saber and Retaliator Gold Standard Pass. So then we go into the engine team. They finalized support of tracking floating point exceptions within physics. That's actually a really good thing. Several updates to the SDF tech. More progress was made on Gen 12 render as well as with memory management, and support was given to volumetric cloud system. Features, characters, and weapons. Work on medical gameplay such as the healing item that allows players to scan other people to see their vitals, as well as on healing beam attachments for the multi-tool. Med pins can now be used on other players and NPCs. Thank God. Final touches were made to the first Hurt locomotion set, so that's cool. You might be limping or something like that. I don't know what they got planned. The props team has now finished their pass on hospitals. For Q&A, they helped test the future dynamic event tools Testing was done for Invictus NPC behaviors and throughout the PU. The engine team continued to stress test for low-end PC specs, and the QA helped test DataForge, Star World, Excel Core, CopyBuilt, and Sandbox Editor for the tools team. So a lot of work on the back end testing for tools and stuff. System services and tools. So Super Pcache is wrapped up for the next release. AI info and NPC creation services were iterated on. Server meshing continues its work, adding new hybrid service needed for functionality. Tech animation. Quality time was spent clearing up animation bugs in the PU, implemented animations for Invictus, and assisted with asset skinning. Turbulent. What have they been doing? Work was done on the Entity Graph tool, Game Launcher, and Warmer tool that helps prepare the servers for high concurrency. And Game Services team worked on bugs relating to long-term persistence, along with fixing the naming issue for the M50. Most of the team's capacity has been focused on server meshing and will continue to be the case. Web team worked on the Tumbril Nova and Hercules web pages. Vehicle tech, finishing touches on radar scanning along with some landing gear functionality touch-ups to ensure their persistence through repairs being streamed in and out, cinematics, and docking. Some work panel tools were done to allow finer control over multiple doors as well. Then on the VFX side, we have touch-up work being done on the Nova, Hercules, and Bingle thruster and weapon effects for Invictus. Some work was done on Orison, like cherry blossoms, water, holographic displays, medical beams, question mark. I don't know why there's a question mark. Work was done on fire on spaceships, discerning how spaceships would burn as opposed to other materials. Work has begun to apply new particle lighting system to old effects. So that's pretty cool that they're upgrading some of that. For features and gameplay, initial concepting for Player Asset Manager was completed. Progress was made on the cargo refactor. Internal testing and polishing are still underway for the next dynamic event. Work was done on a new mining gameplay features as well as a loot generation. Then we get into feature vehicles. Work was done on jump points. Cool. Awesome. Features scheduled for 3.14 have been finalized. Work on drunk driving and flying behaviors. Okay. That could be handy. Maybe. Graphics and VFX programming. Work started on a window shader, allowing views into fake interiors, bringing extra life to cities and stations. Work on the fire hazard system also continued. For lighting, Orison continues its full lighting pass. Docking lobbies on R&R stations got lighting work, along with new security station variants. Narrative team, the tourist guide and tourist behaviors, along with animations, got work done. NPC organizations got continued design, resulting in additional companies being created along with job types. And then the teams created cohesive character sheets for PU characters to ensure they appear and match the environment they operate in. So, a lot of stuff being done during the month of May on a lot of different things. And you actually got to see a lot of the fruits of a lot of those things in Invictus Week. But there is still more stuff being done, so keep in mind a lot of that stuff is, I'm saying a lot. But yeah, it's exciting news for much of that that's coming out. Server meshing's come a long ways, and it looks like it's come even further since May, like into June even. So we should get some pretty exciting news hopefully in the next month or two on that progress, as well as Gen 12 render. I'm looking forward to it. What do you guys get out of this Roadmap Roundup and the monthly report? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you once again. Make sure to hit that like button and that subscribe button. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.